Well, I decided to start another new project for 2024. Um, my guild is having this guest speaker in our coming to our guild to speak in a couple weeks, and a few of us decided to go ahead and get her pattern ahead of time and just try to work on it to see, if we can do it. And I'm always down for a challenge. And one thing with quilting that I really haven't dealt a lot in is doing curve piecing. It is a skill that I just really haven't gotten into. So I decided to go ahead and get the pattern. And with the pattern, I also got all the templates that come with it. So you get a 6-inch template. I don't know if you could see that, but it's a 6-inch template, a 9-inch template, a 12-inch template, and then this is the other side, which is a 12-inch template. And with using all three of these, or partially of these, you're going to have a 12.5-inch block with using these. And these are it's called Giant Nesting Curves. That's the pattern. And so I already did some pre-work, as far as I decided these were I got a lot of scraps and I cut them up into pieces because I looked at the picture here with all the different piecing, and I got a bunch of colors and I cut them up. Plus I have my solids. And so I got like a design on how I want to have my circles be. So here they are. These are the blocks that I came up with on how I'm going to design my circle block. And so it's a big block. It's 12.5 inches and unfinished, 12 inches finished for each block. But I didn't look to see what it would be once all the four circles, all quadrants are put together, to find out how big the entire block is going to be. But from the pattern, it looked like they had a lot of negative space. This is considered, I think, like a modern block. I did one test block on how to do an actual curve because I'd never done curve piecing before. And this is what I came up with as far as my test block. This is my test block. I haven't squared it up to to be the exact 12.5 inches, but I started with this. I cut up those pieces of fabric and I came up with this block. But then as I'm looking at the pattern, there's a lot of negative space, and I really didn't have a lot of negative space in my block. So I decided to change it up, and I got some more of the cream color and added it to the other one to make that block. But I'm not going to get rid of this. This was just the first one I used just to see how to even do the curves according to the pattern. It's a really good pattern. And it's by Warm Folk. And really good pattern. You should try it. But I'm going to show you how to do a curve. The name of the game of sewing curves really is going slow and taking your time. This is my first part of the curve, and let me see, one is a concave and the other is a convex. So this is the concave, and then what you're sewing onto it would be my convex. And what you're going to do is I'm going to have to fold this in half to find the center mark. So I'll fold it in half here, and I usually just give it a little press here. Then when I open it, I can see where that press mark is, and then with a heat erase pen, I'll just mark that area here. And then this is my convex, again, folding in half. press right here, open it up, finding that mark, marking it here, and then what I also did was I marked it on this side also. So I marked it on both sides. Then what you're going to do is with the concave and the convex, and what the key is you're doing right sides together, and then what I'm going to do is pin. In the instructions, they gave you instructions on, like I said, it was really good instructions on how to use pins or to use glue. I'm not going to use glue. I'm just going to pin it. So you pin this one side, you pin this side. All you need is 3 pins. So you pin the end here, and then you're going to pin on this end here. So you're going to start on one side and you're going to end on this side, and you're going to pin the 2 sides plus your center point. So your center point, one end and the other end. So you have this weird looking thing, and it looks like it's not all going to fit in there, but you can kind of see how just even going like this, it kind of fits. And so what you're going to do is you're going to stitch very slowly, and they tell you to use a scant 1/4 inch. And I know a lot of people hate that scant 1/4 inch, but you just need to know where your 1/4 inch line is on the bed of your machine, and you just need to just go in just a thread or 2. Anyway, so here we go. Let me move you over here to my machine here. And so I'm going to lift this up, put it here, and we're going to get started. So I'm going to do like 3 stitches, back stitch, and again we're going to go slow. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to have I have my top fingers trying to keep this straight, and your bottom one here. And what you're doing is you're just watching right here what's in front of you. You're not caring what's going on down here because it'll all work its way out. But you're just going to just care what's going on to you, like within this inch of stitching. So we're going to stitch, making sure that our 2 pieces stay together, and we're going to go slow. Once we get to that point, and you're going to use your fingers almost like pins. And you're just going to scoot your fabric over. And also a good thing too is, since you're cutting curves, your fabric is biased. And what that means is it will stretch. And you don't want to pull because you don't want too much stretch in your fabric. But you just go slow. So just go slow. And like I said, this is my first time trying this. This is the first day that I've ever tried doing this. And like I said, I showed you the first block that I did, and it seemed to work out. So when you get to the pin here, pull the pin out. Do not sew over pins. We're halfway there. So now we will go slow. Again, we're just watching what we're doing right here. We're not looking at what the end of our block. We're just going to stick with what we're going right here. Just stick with what's in front of you. Just do a couple stitches at a time. And see, we're almost at the end. So I get to the end. So I'm just going to, again, going slow, paying attention just what's in front of me. Get to the end of the curve here. Take this last pin out, and I back stitch, and voila, we've done 1 block. So as we push this block out, you can see how beautiful that curve went. See how beautiful that curve is? So then what you're going to do is you're going to iron that down, and generally with me, some people say I'll iron to the dark, iron to the light, iron to this side, that side. I like the block show me where it wants to go. And as you can tell, the block is showing you that it wants to go out. So you're going to iron the block out. You're not going to open the seams. You're going to iron it out. And it's same with this side. You're going to iron out, and that's what it wants to do. And so why fight it? Let it do what it wants to do. So I'm going to go ahead and iron this, and I'll show you how I do the next block. Okay, the block is nice and ironed. Again, we have the concave, and we're going to go with our convex. Now this one has a lot of piecing. I did a lot of piecing on this block. So we're going to handle this very gently because we don't want to stretch. Again, it's unbiased, but it's even worse because you got all these seams. So you don't want to stretch this out. So you're going to be extremely gentle with it. So again, what I will do is fold this in half, and the blocks are getting bigger too. So we're going to fold it in half, we're going to press this here, just finger press it. And then with our pen, we're going to mark it. There you go. And then with our second piece, our convex, we're going to, again, put it in half. Being very gentle with this block because of all the seams and the bias. We're going to push down here, and we're going to open it up, and we're going to mark it. And I guess you don't need to mark it on the other side. You're just marking on this side because they're going to be right sides together. So we're going to put our block down here, convex, concave. We're going to see how interesting that looks? How one goes up and the other one goes down. See? Let me see if I can give you a better look because it's getting bigger. So you have one going this way and the other one going that way. And so you're going to pin here, and then you're going to pull the one end here, and then you're going to pull this other end over to here and pin that. So we're going to have 3 pins. So let me pin it and stitch it up and show you what this one looks like. So 1 pin. Second pin. Third pin. Okay, now we'll put this under the machine and stitch this one out just like how we did the other one, a scant 1/4 inch. Move you over. We're going to do a scant 1/4 inch. We're going to, I got to rethread this, but we're going to stitch it. We're going to scant 1/4 inch. And we're just going to pay attention to what's going on right here in front of us. We're not going to worry about what's going on in the back end. Okay. Okay, here we go. Again, 1/4 inch. Scant 1/4 inch. I usually go like maybe 3 stitches, back stitch. And then here we go. Again, we're going to go slow. And just pay attention to what's in front of us. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Let me see if I can zoom you in so you can really see. kind of wish all these things were at the bottom, but in order to sew this correctly, you have to have it the concave, convex in this particular order for stitching it in order for the block to work right. I'm glad that my guild decided to do this, because I've always wanted to take on sewing curves, and I figured it's not that hard. I mean, but it's a new skill. It's something, that I can definitely add to, different quilt patterns or different things that I'm doing with my quilts. Learning how to work with concave and convex and not being afraid of something that has a curve. And there it is. We have another one done. So again, I will push it back and it looks beautiful. And with this one, it seems as though the other one wanted to go out this way, but this one seems like the seams want to go this way. And I don't know if it's because of all these seams here that it wants to go that way, but we're going to iron this one this way because that's the way it wants to go. Okay, so I'll iron this and I'll come back and then we'll do the last block, or the last piece to this block. Okay, the final piece to this block is this last curve here, and that will be my end curve because you can see how it's the end. So again, the same thing we're going to do before is we're going to fold it in half. We're going to find our center. We're going to fold this one in half, find our center, mark it. Then once we mark it, right sides together, we're going to do the concave, convex. We're going to add a pin here, a pin here, then stitch it together. I'm going to do that and be right back. Okay, there you go. One block down and I got 3 more to go, but I think I'll do a 5th one and maybe make this a total of 6 blocks versus just 4 blocks, because I did that one block as a test block and I'll add that to that. So I'll make 6 total blocks, and maybe I'll do like maybe a table runner or something like that. Alrighty. On to finishing this up and learning a new skill as far as doing curve piecing